Listen closely, because today, right now, I'm going to make something crystal clear for you. You've given your heart, your time, your energy to the wrong people. You've over-explained, over-compromised, over-given. You've tried to show them who you are, but they couldn't see it. You've bent over backward, made excuses for their behavior, tried to convince them of your worth. But guess what? It's over. You've earned your silence. And you know what? It's powerful. They didn't appreciate you when you were there, when you were speaking your truth, when you were lifting them up, when you were pouring into their lives. They saw your kindness as weakness, your love as a given, your words as just noise. They thought they could take you for granted. They didn't know that you were building something in silence, something far greater than what they could see in the moment. Now, you've earned your silence. You've earned the right to stand in your own power. You've earned the peace of walking away from those who have no intention of seeing the best in you. And let me tell you this, your silence is golden. Your silence is your strength. There's power in withdrawing and holding your energy for yourself and showing them that the best version of you is the one they can no longer access because they couldn't value it when they had the chance. Your silence is not an absence. It's a declaration. It's a statement that says, I'm not here to convince you of anything anymore. I'm here to rise with or without your validation. Your words, your time, your heart are sacred. You will never again waste them on those who aren't deserving. This is the moment you stop chasing, stop explaining, stop apologizing for who you are. This is the moment you let your actions speak louder than any words ever could. And when they realize what they've lost, it's not your problem. You've earned your silence. Now step into it with pride, with power, with purpose, because from this moment forward, everything you need is inside you. You're enough. You've always been enough. And now you've learned that your silence is not a retreat, it's a revolution. Keep moving forward. Listen, it's time for you to understand something crucial. For too long, you've poured your heart into people who never saw your value. You've given them your time, your energy, your patience, your love. You've shown up for them in ways that only a few would dare to. But they didn't get it. They didn't recognize the incredible worth you brought to their lives. They took you for granted. They allowed your brilliance to go unnoticed. And here's the thing, you gave it all freely. Out of the goodness of your heart. Because you believed that showing up for them, being there for them would make a difference. You thought that your effort would be reciprocated, that they'd appreciate you, see you for who you truly are, but they didn't. And that's okay. Because right now in this moment, you've come to realize that you are the one who's been undervaluing yourself. They never earned your trust, your time, your devotion. And now in your silence, you're taking back what's yours. You've reached the point where you no longer need their acknowledgement, their approval, or their validation. You understand that you are enough. You're worthy of love, respect, and all the greatness that this world has to offer, whether they ever see it or not. This is your breakthrough moment. You don't need to beg for attention, to chase after those who don't see your value. The most powerful thing you can do now is to recognize your own worth, to stop pouring into people who don't deserve your energy, and to move forward unshaken. Because the truth is, you're not losing anything by stepping away from those who failed to see your greatness. You're gaining everything. You've earned this. You've earned your peace, your time, your energy, and your focus. It's yours now. And as you step into this new chapter, know that your worth will never again be determined by others. It's in your hands and it always has been. Let me tell you something. Your silence is not a sign of defeat. It's not a retreat. It's your strength. You've been talking, explaining, reaching out, trying to make people see you, trying to make them understand the depth of who you are. But here's the thing, you don't owe anyone an explanation anymore. Your silence is the most powerful thing you can do. It's a message that says, I no longer need to fight for your attention. I no longer need to convince you of my worth. I am enough with or without your validation. When you stop speaking to people who don't listen, when you stop giving your energy to those who are unwilling to see the value in you, you're reclaiming your power. You're telling the world that you no longer settle for less than what you deserve. Your silence is your declaration that you are not here to chase after anyone who doesn't recognize your worth. You are moving forward with or without them. Your silence is not a weakness, not a surrender. It is a bold, fierce choice to protect your peace, to guard your energy, and to prioritize your own growth. And here's the truth, when you stop giving energy to people who don't deserve it, something incredible happens. You begin to attract the right people into your life. You begin to attract those who see you for who you truly are. those who respect your energy and value your presence. And that is where your true power lies. You've learned a powerful lesson. Your silence is more powerful than any word you could say. It's a statement of strength, a statement of confidence, and a statement of self-respect. And when people realize what they've lost, that's no longer your concern. You have set the boundary. You've chosen yourself. You've chosen peace. And that is a choice you'll never regret. For far too long, you've been explaining yourself, justifying your actions, and bending over backward, trying to make others understand who you are, what you're capable of, and why you're worthy of respect. You spent so much time trying to break down your thoughts and feelings, trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for you. You've apologized for being yourself, tried to make others comfortable with your greatness, and convinced people who never really wanted to listen. But now that stops. You've realized that your worth is not for negotiation. Your value is not something that should ever need an explanation. You no longer owe anyone a detailed account of why you make the choices you make or why you choose to live your life the way you do. The only person who needs to understand your worth, your vision, your journey is you. And the truth is, when you stop over-explaining, you start living more powerfully. You've earned the right to stand firm in who you are, unapologetically. The more you try to explain, the more you dilute your own power. The more you try to convince someone of your value, the more you let them diminish it. It's time to stop watering down your truth to make others feel comfortable. It's time to stop shrinking yourself for people who are not ready to see your full potential. The truth is simple. When people are meant to be in your life, they will see your worth without you having to explain it to them. You don't need to justify your dreams, your hustle, your boundaries, or your goals. Those who respect you will understand. And those who don't won't ever. And that's their problem, not yours. Your silence is powerful, but it's also a form of liberation. It's the freedom to be who you are without having to explain yourself to anyone. No more convincing, no more begging, no more chasing after those who don't appreciate the full scope of what you bring to the table. When you stop explaining, you stop diminishing your light. You step into your full power and start attracting people who value you for exactly who you are. And that, my friend, is the moment everything begins to shift. There comes a point in your life when you have to acknowledge the truth. Some people just don't deserve you. They didn't appreciate the time, the effort, the energy, and the love you've poured into them. They've taken you for granted, used you when it was convenient, and never truly valued what you brought to the table. You've tried and tried, hoping that one day they would see it, hoping they would wake up and realize how much you've given. But here's the harsh reality. You can't keep giving to those who refuse to recognize your worth. You can't keep showing up for people who don't even have the decency to show up for you. And you know what? It's okay to admit it. It's okay to acknowledge that some people just aren't meant to be a part of your journey anymore. You've spent so much time trying to make them see, trying to prove your value, trying to get them to open their eyes, but you can't force it. If they can't see it now, they never will. And that's not your burden to carry. It's not your responsibility to convince someone of your worth when they've chosen not to see it. This is the moment you take a step back and recognize your own value. You stop chasing after people who don't appreciate you. You stop giving your heart to those who don't cherish it. And you give yourself permission to walk away knowing that you deserve better. It's not about them anymore. It's about you and the amazing things you're capable of when you stop wasting your time on people who can't even see your greatness. It's time to stop making excuses for others' behavior. Stop pretending that they'll change or that they'll wake up one day and realize what they've lost. The truth is, some people are just not meant to be in your life. And that's not a failure on your part, that's growth. It's growth because you've learned to put your energy into people who value it, into relationships that nourish you and into yourself. And once you realize this, everything changes. You stop settling, you stop hoping, you start expecting and attracting the kind of people who see you for the amazing person you are. So stop chasing, stop explaining, you've done enough. They've earned your forever silence. Now it's time for you to move forward, knowing that you've given your best and it's their loss. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth anymore. You're here to rise, to thrive, and to surround yourself with the people who will honor and respect the incredible person that you are. Let me tell you something, there's power in walking away. When you finally decide to stop pouring your energy into people who don't deserve it, you take back control of your life. You stop giving away your time to those who haven't earned it, and you start investing that energy into yourself. You stop seeking validation from those who are not equipped to see your greatness, and you begin to create a life that's built on your own terms. You stop being a constant presence in people's lives who won't reciprocate, and you start being present for yourself. This is the moment where your power is truly unleashed. You've been giving so much of yourself, trying to make things work, trying to be there for people who didn't value, but now you realize something profound. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to beg for attention or affection. The people who are meant for you, the ones who truly see you, will come into your life without you having to chase them down. And those who didn't recognize your worth, that's no longer your problem. You've taken back control and you've decided that your energy is too valuable to waste. By walking away, by choosing yourself, you set the tone for the rest of your life. You stop being a passive participant to become the creator of your own destiny. You stop letting people drain you and you start protecting your peace. You stop letting others have the power to decide your worth or how much of yourself you're allowed to give. You are the one in control now. Your boundaries are set. Your value is clear. This is not just about cutting people out, it's about reclaiming the life you were meant to live. You get to choose where your energy goes, where your focus is, and who is allowed into your world. And once you make that decision, everything starts to shift. You stop holding on to the past, stop chasing the wrong people, and start aligning yourself with the people, experiences, and opportunities that actually uplift and elevate you. The moment you take back control of your energy is the moment you start to live with intention, with purpose, and with power. You stop being distracted by people who couldn't see you, and you start focusing on the ones who will. Your time is your most valuable resource, and when you take control of it, that's when your true potential begins to unfold. So stop chasing. Stop over-explaining. Stop sacrificing your peace. You have all the control now, and the moment you realize that, you'll never let anyone take it away from you again. You've been working behind the scenes, building your vision, your dreams, your future, but for too long you've been looking for approval, trying to get others to understand the magnitude of what you're creating. You've been explaining, sharing your plans, hoping for support, and waiting for someone to recognize your potential. But here's the truth, the most powerful things you've ever built were never meant to be shared in the beginning. They were meant to be forged in silence, to be honed in solitude, to be shaped when no one was watching. You didn't need their validation to get started. You didn't need their applause to keep going. You've been quietly building, stacking the blocks, laying the foundation of something great. And that, my friend, is where the true power lies. The greatest creators, the greatest visionaries, they don't announce their every move. They don't seek permission to rise. They simply rise quietly, steadily, with laser focus on the work that needs to be done. And that's what you're doing now. You're no longer waiting for someone to see your worth. You're no longer seeking approval. You're building in silence, and that's where your strength lies. As you stop seeking external validation, you begin to unlock the true power within you. Your silence is not absence, it's presence, it's power. It's the energy you've been pouring into the most important thing of all, yourself. You've stopped explaining, you've stopped justifying. Now you're letting your actions speak for themselves. And let me tell you, when you stop talking about it and just do it, the results will speak louder than anything you could ever say. People will eventually notice what you've been building. They'll see the success, the growth, the transformation, and they'll realize they missed the opportunity to be part of it. But here's the thing that's no longer your problem. You're not waiting for their recognition or their applause. You're in your own lane, building your own empire, and the only validation you need is from yourself. The moment you realize this, everything changes. You stop waiting for others to see your vision. You stop hoping someone will give you a seat at the table. You've created your own table, and now you're inviting those who truly see you to sit with you. So keep building in silence. Keep moving forward with unwavering faith in yourself. Your future doesn't depend on their approval. It depends on your belief in your own potential. And once you step fully into that power, there's nothing that can stop you. Let your actions be the loudest thing in the room. The world will see your greatness, and by then they'll know they had a chance to be part of it. But whether they do or not doesn't matter. What matters is that you're no longer waiting for anyone to see what you're building. You're letting your results speak for themselves. And that is where the magic happens. You've spent enough time talking about your dreams, your vision, your plans. You've explained it to people who couldn't understand, to people who weren't ready to hear it, to people who never believed in the fire you carry inside you. You've shared your thoughts, your hopes, and your ambitions with people who weren't equipped to handle the weight of what you're creating. But let me make something clear. Your actions will always speak louder than your words. Your results will always prove who you are. And it's time for you to stop wasting energy on convincing others. You've already done the talking. Now it's time to show them. Stop explaining your value, your journey, and your purpose. It's time to let your actions do the heavy lifting. The moment you stop talking about your potential and start living it is the moment you step into your true power. When people see what you're capable of, when they witness the success that comes from your hard work, your discipline, your commitment, they won't need any more explanations. Your actions will leave them speechless. For too long, you've been chasing validation, waiting for someone to acknowledge your efforts, to recognize your worth. You've been hoping that someone would finally understand just how much you're capable of. But guess what? The only person who needs to understand that is you. You don't need to explain anything. You don't need to seek permission. You just need to show up, do the work, and let the results speak for themselves. When you start letting your actions speak, you begin to attract the right kind of attention, the kind that doesn't need words, the kind that doesn't need explanations. People will start to notice you not because you told them what you could do, but because they see it in what you've already done. Your success will leave them no choice but to acknowledge your greatness. And here's the best part: by that time, you won't even care if they do. You won't need their recognition because you will already be living in your own truth. You will be the person you've always known you could be, and that's enough. So stop talking about it. Stop explaining, stop justifying, and start doing. Your silence in this moment isn't passive, it's powerful. It's the silence of someone who's focused, who is determined, who is ready to show the world exactly what they are made of. And when the world sees what you've created, when they witness the impact you're making, they'll know exactly who you are, and they'll wish they had paid attention sooner. But by then, it won't matter. You've already moved on, and your actions have already spoken for you. It's time for you to understand something crucial. You no longer need anyone's validation. You've spent years looking for approval, seeking recognition, hoping that someone would notice your efforts and give you the acknowledgement you deserve. But here's the truth: your worth was never meant to be validated by someone else's opinion of you. Your worth is inherent. It's in your bones. It's in the way you think, the way you move, the way you strive. And once you truly internalize that, something incredible happens. You stop waiting for anyone else to tell you that you matter. You've been chasing after people, trying to get them to see you, trying to get them to validate your decisions, your choices, your dreams. But why? Why waste your precious energy on people who are incapable of seeing you for the greatness you are? It's time to stop seeking permission. It's time to stop asking for approval. You're not here to fit into someone else's mold. You're here to carve out your own path, to create your own space, to build your life on your own terms. And guess what? When you stop seeking validation from others, that's when you truly step into your power. That's when you stop living for their approval and start living for yourself. When you stop waiting for others to recognize your worth, you take back your life. You take back your focus, you take back your peace, and most importantly, you take back your confidence. This is not about arrogance. It's not about being dismissive. It's about knowing deep within your soul that you are enough. You don't need anyone's validation because you've already given yourself the only validation that matters. And when you own that truth, the game changes. You stop shrinking for others. You stop apologizing for who you are, and you stop hoping someone will give you the acknowledgement you deserve. You become your own biggest supporter. The world may not always see you for what you are in the moment, and that's okay. It doesn't matter anymore. You're no longer living for their applause. You're living for their applause. You're living for your own. You're living for your own growth, your own journey, and your own peace of mind. When you stop waiting for others to see your value, you become unstoppable. You start creating without fear. You start moving without hesitation. And you start living with a freedom that's unmatched. And when the people who once doubted you finally realize what they've missed, that's their problem, not yours. You've already moved past their judgment. You've already moved past their approval. You've stepped into a new chapter where you're not waiting for anyone to tell you who you are. You know who you are, and that's all that matters. Listen closely, because this is the moment where you truly take control of your life. You spent too much time giving your time, your love, and your energy to people who will never appreciate it. You've been there for them when they needed you, and you've offered your support, your heart, your loyalty, but they didn't value it. They took it for granted. They didn't acknowledge it, and they certainly didn't reciprocate it. But here's what you need to understand: your time, your love, your energy is precious. It's one of the few things in this life that you can never get back. And once you realize that, you start to make better choices about where you put it. It's not about being selfish. It's about being smart. You are a force. You are someone with vision, with passion, with purpose. And the moment you realize that your energy is one of your most valuable resources is the moment everything shifts. You stop wasting your time on people who won't appreciate you. You stop pouring your love into empty wells. You stop bending over backward for people who wouldn't do the same for you. Instead, you start investing your energy in places and people that truly deserve it. You start giving your time and love to those who show up for you, to those who see you, to those who give as much as you do. You focus on the relationships that lift you up, on the endeavors that align with your vision, on the opportunities that fuel your growth. And most importantly, you give yourself the most precious resource of all, yourself. You stop giving away your power to others and start reclaiming it for you. You see, when you stop wasting your energy, you create space for the right things to come into your life. You make room for new possibilities, new relationships, new opportunities, because you're no longer weighed down by the burden of unappreciated love or energy that has no return. When you stop wasting time on people who don't value you, you can finally focus on your own growth, on the things that truly matter, on your dreams, your health, your happiness. This is your time to shine. This is your time to choose wisely where you put your energy. And when you do, when you start valuing your time as the precious resource it is, you will be amazed at how quickly everything begins to change. You'll attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances into your life because you're no longer draining yourself on people who can't see your value. You're building a life where your energy flows freely, where it's respected, and where it fuels your purpose. So stop wasting your time. Stop giving to people who don't appreciate it. Stop overextending for people who don't have the decency to show up for you. Your time is precious. Your energy is sacred. Protect it, value it, and watch as your life transforms into something more powerful than you ever imagined. You've reached a pivotal moment, a defining moment where you can no longer afford to stay silent on the inside. You've been hurt, betrayed, misjudged, and misunderstood. You've been trying to heal, trying to move forward. But here's the truth sometimes. Silence is the most healing force you have. It's not just about shutting out others, it's about creating space within yourself to process, to grow, and to become stronger. Your silence is your strength. It's not a sign of weakness, not a retreat, it's your self-preservation. You've given so much to people who didn't deserve it, tried so hard to make things work with those who were never willing to meet you halfway. But here's the key now: you've learned the art of letting go. You've learned that not every battle is yours to fight. Not every person needs an explanation. You've realized that some people have earned your silence not because you're giving up, but because you've chosen to protect your peace. You've spent enough time fighting for people who were never going to fight for you. You've poured your heart into relationships that drained you, that never gave back what you gave. But you've come to realize that the energy you spent fighting for them could have been spent on fighting for yourself. You could have invested that energy into your own growth, your own happiness, your own well-being. And now you choose to do that. Your silence is not about revenge, it's about reclamation. You're reclaiming your time, your energy, your focus, and most importantly, you're reclaiming your peace. The moment you decide to silence the noise around you, the moment you stop explaining and defending, the moment you stop letting others dictate your emotional state, something powerful happens. You begin to find clarity. You begin to hear your own voice, your own desires, your own dreams, and you realize that they've been waiting for you all along. And in that moment of silence, you are finally free. Free from the expectations of others. Free from the chaos of trying to prove yourself. Free from the constant weight of the world telling you who you should be. So here's what you do now. You stop explaining. You stop seeking answers from people who have already shown you who they are. You stop trying to convince them to see your worth. You stop giving them the power to make you feel small or unimportant. And instead, you start investing in yourself. You start focusing on your growth, your happiness, your peace of mind, and you build a life that aligns with the person you've always been meant to become. You've earned your silence because you've learned how to stand in your own truth. And let me tell you, this is not a passive silence. It's an active, powerful choice. It's a choice to no longer engage in battles that drain you. It's a choice to no longer be at the mercy of people who don't value you. It's a choice to protect your peace, your energy, and your future. And once you make that choice, everything changes. You stop worrying about what others think. You stop fearing their judgments. You stop doubting your worth. You step fully into your power, and you move forward, knowing that the silence you've earned is the space in which your greatest transformation will happen. Now, let me leave you with this. You are the architect of your own life. You control the narrative, you set the boundaries, and you decide who deserves a seat at your table. You have spent too long giving parts of yourself to people who took you for granted, who didn't value you, who didn't see your worth. But no more. The moment you decide that your silence is sacred, your energy is precious, your peace is non-negotiable, that's the moment everything changes. You stop explaining yourself. You stop shrinking to fit into places you were never meant to belong. You stop doubting your worth based on the opinions of others. You step into your power fully and unapologetically. And in that silence, you'll find your strength. In that silence, you'll discover your true potential. The people who have earned your silence will see the consequences of underestimating you. And you won't even need to say a word. Your silence is not weakness, it's strength. It's wisdom. It's a declaration that you've learned to value yourself so much that you no longer waste time with anyone or anything that doesn't align with your purpose. So from this moment forward, remember this, your journey is yours alone. You are not here to seek approval from others. You're here to rise, to thrive, to create a life that reflects the greatness within you. And if they can't see it now, that's okay, they've earned your silence. But as you rise in your peace, your power, and your purpose, they will eventually realize what they lost. And you'll just keep moving forward, focused on building the future you deserve. Keep your silence, protect your peace, and rise higher than ever before. Your best is yet to come, and it will speak louder than anything you've ever said.